driving. Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good afternoon, everyone. I did that yesterday. All right. So I make lists for myself every day of stuff that I need to do, right? Kind of prioritize them as I go along. And that seems to help me a lot. Jackie, good to see you. Sandra Matthew, welcome on Instagram there. Sandra, I don't know if you've joined us before, but what I do is I come on here, usually once a day and have a daily reflection. I was only able to spend 10 minutes on here earlier, so I thought I'd come on and maybe talk about a different subject. And legacies have really been coming up for me lately. There's another one too that I kind of wanted to look at. What was that? It was like the AA contradictions or something like that. Give me a second here. Need to ask Uncle Google something. The paradoxes. That's what we call them. Yeah. Okay. All right. I've got them up now. Stay stopped. Welcome. All right. If you are on Facebook, please say hello. Whether you are watching the live or the rewatch. Dun, dun, dun. Dude, whatever you're playing with, you need to stop. Okay. Get off there. You know better. All right. So before we go on to the third legacy, let's maybe talk about the AA paradoxes. Jill had brought it up the other day, and I've just been thinking about it a lot since. So what are they called? They're called the 4 paradoxes of AA. Number 1 is we surrender to win. Number 2 is we give away to keep. 3, we suffer to get well. And 4, we die to live. They're kind of fun to look at. And in a sense, we did have to die before we got here. We were dead spiritually. I don't care who you are, how old you are, what you've been through. If you've made it to AA, you are dead. You are dead spiritually, and that's all that really matters. Number 3 is we suffer to get well. It's kind of a requirement, isn't it? That's why when you get here, we don't make terms about, the only requirement for AA membership is a desire to stop drinking. You don't even have to be an alcoholic. You just have to have a desire to stop drinking, right? But unfortunately, we're going to have to suffer the effects of alcohol before we understand that we're going to need to do that. The only way to keep it is to give it away. It's the only way that you can keep it. I know of no other way that it can be done. It gets replaced. It gets replaced by things that are a lot better. And then, of course, in number 1, we surrender to win. You hear me talk about that a lot, that you have to stop fighting. You have to. If you do not stop fighting, you are not going to get through the 12 steps. Okay? Got to get rid of that anger. You gotta. There's a questions here. Does AA have a high success rate? I want to see what they have to say about that. For starters, the Big Book claims about 50% success rate, with another 25% staying sober after relapse once or several times. AA's 2014 search also provided the following statistics about the fellowship. 20% of AA members stay sober for less than a year. I am not big on statistics. I think statistics are great to utilize to figure out where we need money, blah, blah, blah. But giving statistics to an alcoholic, it doesn't do much to us. So when you give statistics to an alcoholic, all you're doing is making them feel more lonely. So I'm presuming, and on Facebook, I'm presuming that's Robin because it says Facebook user. So, and I can't really go. I could. Here, let's go search it. And ain't going fast enough to do that. Who cares? All right. So there are 3 legacies in AA. Not 12 this time, thank God, huh? Just 3. But all 3 of them are needed for the successful consummation of the program. Right? It's right on your chip. No, do I have to guess again? There might be Shane. All right, so that triangle that we always see, right? The AA triangle. So I want you to think of it like a stool with 3 legs. If you remove one of them, you drop to the floor. Okay, right? You're not going to be able to sit in that seat. You need all 3 of the legacies in order to stay sober. First legacy is service. Is recovery. Right. Second one is unity, and the third one is service. Recovery, we talk a lot about. That's 12 steps. Unity is going to be the 12 traditions. All right. So what I do, calm down there. Calm down there, little buddy. Yeah, we need to get back to others. Coming to you with 2 vertebrae in my spine that I got last week. Yes, hi, Shane. I'm glad you're feeling better, dude. I really am. And that better be Shane or I'm going to be a little upset. All right. Today, okay, unity, the second legacy. Today, we in AA are together, and we know we are going to stay together. We are at peace with each other and with the world around us. So many of our conflicts are resolved by our destiny seems secure. The problems of yesterday have produced the blessings of today. Hey, Michael, good to see you. Ours is not the usual success story. Rather, is a story of how, under God's grace, as unsuspected strength has arisen out of a great weakness, of how, under threats of disunity and collapse, worldwide unity and brotherhood have been forged. In the course of this experience, we have evolved a set of traditional principles by which we live and work together and relate ourselves as a fellowship to the world around us. These principles are called the 12 traditions of Alcoholics Anonymous. They represent the distilled experience of the past, and we rely on them to carry us in unity through the challenges and dangers which the future may bring. Okay? So we've taken the 12 steps and we've utilized them into a life worth living. Remember? Yeah. And what does Dion say to that? It's a great start, because now you got to take a look at the traditions. Right? Knowing how to take care of things and intuitively knowing how to handle situations which used to baffle you requires something. You need to educate yourself. Read books. Go to meetings. Listen to people, including the people you don't want to listen to. Dude, really? You're going back for that? I swear to God, that cat doesn't understand me. He's in trouble at all. He just doesn't care. It was not always so. In the early days, we saw that it was one thing for a few alcoholics to get well, but the problem of living and working together was something else. Therefore, it was into an uncharted future that we looked from the window of Dr. Bob's living room in 1937 when we first realized that alcoholics might be able to get well in large numbers. The world around us, the world of more normal people, was torn apart. Could we recovered alcoholics hold together? Could we carry AA's message? Could we function as groups and as a whole? No one could say. Our friends the psychiatrists, with some reason, have begun to warn the fellowship of alcoholics is emotional dynamite. Its neurotic contact can be blown to it can blow it to bits. Right? So we got to be careful on what we bring into the group. Now, don't bring your toxic shit in there. Go to your sponsor with that stuff. Go to a group with that. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Go to a group with 30 alcoholics and you're going to get 30 different opinions. So just don't. When drinking, we were certainly explosive enough. Now that we were sober, would dry benders and emotional jags blow us up? When I think of the explosions, I always think of my friend Icky down in Houston, Texas. They called him the Dynamite Man. Icky was an expert on explosives and on demolition. He was in the rear of the Russian retreat blowing up bridges during the war. After the war, he started to ply his trade again, and I guess he fell into the same error that the poor fellow in London did the other day. This alcoholic Londoner turned up before the magistrate. He had been picked up stiff drunk. His bottle was empty, and the magistrate said, "Did you drink it all?" "Oh, yes." "Why did you drink it all?" "Because I lost the cork." Down there in Houston, it must have been one of those days when our friend Icky lost his cork. Icky was commissioned to blow up a certain pier in Houston Harbor and blew it up, and he blew up the wrong one. He's a demolition guy, and they blew up the wrong bridge. All right. That great question in the early days was this: would we blow up, or could we stay together? Today we have the anniversary. Today we have the answers. The anniversary meeting in St. Louis is a vast testament to the fact that we have held together. All right. So that would have been in 1950 something. Pioneering in AA, of course, has not stopped. I hope it never will. And it shouldn't. Anything that comes up. Okay, let's use coronavirus as an example. I've seen just as many people get sober with the coronavirus going on. The numbers haven't changed. In fact, they may have gone up a little bit because people it's hard to walk into that fucking room with a bunch of people looking at you. With Zoom, you don't have to do that. You can just keep your camera off. I ask that you don't. Okay, the rest of us came in looking like crap. Trust me, you don't. If you're worried about your looks at this point, then come back to me when you're ready. That's the way I kind of see it. You guys, sometimes I come on here and I'm scraggly and yeah, I don't even do my hair. Are you kidding? It's not long enough yet to really do. We feel secure here today, but there are still places out on the AA front in distant lands where right now they're going through all the pains and trials of our early days. For example, the New York office recently received a letter by a Jesuit priest in India. It told the story of a Hindu school teacher who owned a cow in a tiny plot of ground. His wife was stone deaf, and he had a sister who, like himself, drank like a fish. His salary as a teacher was about 50 cents a day. The Jesuit translated AA's 12 steps for him, and in spite of his poverty, in spite of his wife's deafness, in spite of his domineering and drunk sister, he was staying sober. We know that this lone Hindu is probably feeling just the same worries that Dr. Bob and I did. back there in the living room of Akron. This Hindu pioneer is probably asking, can I hang can I hang together myself? Can I carry the message? Will I be able to form a group? Yet he is asking those very, yes, he is asking those very questions. But he will soon be in communication with our world office, and we can send solid assurance to the distant outposts that we are with him, all of us, and that our experience is to draw him, that our experience is his to draw on. And you guys hear me talk about there is no need. Hey, Amanda, love you too, honey. There's no need to rewrite the wheel or reinvent the wheel. And I wish people would just fucking stop it. I really do. Because all you're doing is, why can't you come into agreement with what it is that needs to be done? That would be my question. Why there are a lot of things that are out there. But when somebody says, when you compare what you're doing to AA, I'm already done with you. If you compare yourself to what you're doing to another company at all, I'm already done with you. That's not how it works. Well, mine is the best. Well, I'm open to all pathways, okay? Because I think that's the best way. And I've been doing this since 1989. And I think I kind of know what I'm talking about on it, right? Maybe a little. Yeah. See, you can always tell the ones that are going to work. So they don't require certain things. They're not confusing. See, the AA program is very, very simple. They put it in our words. So when I come across somebody and they're like, especially if they're using SUD. Do you guys know what SUD is? A lot of you don't. It's the new word for alcoholism, substance use disorder. I'd rather be a drunk than be called somebody with a substance use disorder. I do not have any disorders, thank you. I have mental problems. Now you want to throw disorders in there too? Watch what you say. And they're like, then this is the way that we need to say it. I don't even do it in professional meetings. I still say alcoholic and addict. And everybody else is like, SUD. I'm like, fuck you. Nobody knows what you're talking about. And then they feel like you're talking over their head because you had made them feel stupid about their own DOC. Quit saying that too. Say drug of choice. Most people think that you're saying jail. DOC is not in our vocabulary. That means Department of Corrections. So just stop it. Oh, but we want this person to feel comfortable. I'm going to tell you what, you come to the program, you feel comfortable, you're in the wrong fucking place. Because I have never grown and been comfortable at the same time. I don't know that happens. And how do I stay there? With the unity of the program, because of my friends on here. It's neat because I'll come on in the morning. There's certain people that show up, come on in the afternoon, and a lot of times it's a different set of people, right? Just depending on when they get up and things like that. And that's my unity. I missed both my meetings today because I was out and about. So I needed to do a little extra work, right? I had to put in a little bit more, right? Because whenever something happens to me that's good, I double down. I double down with God. It's kind of weird. All right, so I'm actually going back and forth with Restream right now because I'm telling them I pay $50 a month for this crap. And I'm like, you know what? Your number's never right, which means the analytics are wrong. I can't get to Instagram. So I wrote him a little letter. I'm like, give this at $20. That's what I'm willing to pay you for it because that's about what it's worth. I said it a lot nicer than that though. Not by much, actually. Almost in the same mail, a letter came from a Presbyterian minister out on another AA front. He said, "For a long time, I've been trying to get a group started here in Thailand. Recently, a high-educated Thai speaking fluent English came along. He was a terrible case of alcoholism, and he desperately wanted to get well. Now he has a promising period of sobriety and is eager to translate the entire AA literature into Siamese. He and I are already at work starting groups. Can you give us a hand?" The minister continued. "We took the AA 12 steps over to the largest Buddhist monastery in the province. We showed them to the priest of the head of it. After finished looking over the 12 steps, the monk says, 'Why, these are fine. Since we Buddhists don't understand God just as you do, it might be slightly acceptable if you inserted the word good in your steps instead of God. Nevertheless, you say in these steps that it is God as you understand him. That clears up the point of view for us. Yes, AA 12 steps will certainly be accepted by the Buddhists around here.'" Isn't that neat that they're going to these different places that you probably see how? Isn't it neat how religious people are seeing that we are right? So we need to have that same respect, right? We need to have that same respect. Is that all I had to say on it? Oh, because I don't have any other. All right. Well, we are at 21 minutes. Do you guys want me to read a day at a time real quick? Let's do it. Satisfy your cravings. Snack up with, say, with Pringles. January 19th. God, it seems like this is a special day. It's my wife's birthday. Happy birthday, baby. I love you. I will not sing. Actually, I'm afraid. I'm going to do happy birthday in like a country. I do that. Happy birthday. I do the sleazy barman. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Any longer than that, I'll probably do some copyright infringement. So, all right, January 19th. It was far easier for me to accept my powerlessness over my addiction than it was for me to accept the notion that some sort of higher power could accomplish that which I have been unable to accomplish myself. It's the same excuse. Thanks, Mike. I do a lot of voiceovers. I really want to get into my voiceovers, man, but I just never had a chance. Some things don't react well now. Well, some things don't react well to bullets. Nah, I'd have to practice on. Anyway, all right. So it's far easier to accept my powerlessness over my addiction. But what they couldn't get through was thinking that somebody else could do it better than them. That person or entity is God. Okay. Yeah, and I'm going to tell. I kind of want to give everybody a heads up. Everybody on Facebook, when I'm getting close, I'm going to ask all of you to say hello, because what I want to do is I want them to see all those hellos, because over there it says 2, and there are more than 2 people on. There's like 5 people on. So here in a minute, I'm going to ask you to do that. So I take a picture of it, send to them, and say, hey, you know. And simply by seeking help and accepting the fellowship of others similarly afflicted, the craving left me. So what happens, we are going through life, all right? And what we say is, you don't understand me, man. You don't know the shit that I went through, the hell that I had to go through to get here. Right? You don't know me. Until you walk into the rooms and, uh-oh. Have you ever met when you were drinking, did you, or doing whatever? Did you ever run into a person that made you extremely uncomfortable and you did not want to talk to that person because you knew they could see right through your eyeballs and knew how full of shit you were? And that was my stepdad for me. I stayed away from him. I I would literally go around him. I didn't even want to say hi to me because I knew he knew. He could see right through it. He could see my pain. He could feel my pain. He was empathic. Not was, he is. Right? Well, guess what that is, guys? That's intuition. That's your intuition. All alcoholics have empathy. It's just what we decide to use with it. Do we want to go this far with it? Do we want to go that far with it? It's a comfort zone thing. And that's entirely up to you, right? Some of us are built a little bit different. For me, I can walk onto a bus and tell you everybody's mood. And it drives me crazy. That's why I don't like big, huge crowds. Too many emotions. They're flying around. Pew, 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 pew. I'm like, gotta take a racket with me. Bam, 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 bam. That's what it's like. I was even getting a little anxious at my doctor's office. And I realized that if I was doing what I was powerless alone to do, then surely I was doing so by some power outside of my own and obviously greater. Have I surrendered my life into the hands of God? Yeah, I have. And it's got to be all of you. All of it. God, just jump off the damn cliff, man. Just jump. Don't drink the Kool-Aid, but jump the cliff, right? Little joke for Amanda. She likes to drink the Kool-Aid line. Yeah, too much. Too much drama. Too much drama for the mama, right? What is drama? Frothy emotional appeal. Dr. Silkworth came up with that. He said, frothy emotional appeal hardly ever suffices. What's he saying? That we're acting 7 years old, that we're acting 10, 12, 3, throwing ourselves on the ground and, I want my alcohol. May God erase in me the arrogant pride which keeps me from listening to him. That's exactly what it is. So we come in and we're surrendering, right? And we must remember that all of our best ideas got us here right now. Whether you're new, got a little bit of time, all your best ideas got you here. One of those ideas being that maybe God can help me with this. Okay. So the way I kind of explain it is this: it's going to be your higher power, and it's going to take time to figure that out. So talk to them. You are going to feel silly. After a while, you will not. Unless somebody sees you, then you might feel a little silly. It doesn't bother me. People are like, what? I'm like, I'm talking to God. Oh, okay. I talk to God out loud sometimes. Maybe I'm a little frustrated or whatever. But what are we seeking? Have you asked yourself that? What are you seeking? What are you looking for out there in that big fucking world? It's a big world, man. Are you looking for happiness? Are you looking for joy? Or are you just looking for a way out? For me, what it was I just want to feel normal again. And I'm telling you, I'm just now getting there. 5.5 years. And I'm just starting to feel normal. I have not felt this well physically in over 10 years. I really do think it has to do with my gallbladder. I also think it's part of the mind. So I'm just going to go with it because it's working. And as to the why, who cares? Right? I don't need to know why in that situation. Well, the thing is, I'm going to know why because I'm going to tell you, God put me at a dead stop. I don't know why yet. Right? Yeah, right, Kenny? Normal sounds good because you know what happens when I feel normal? Man, it is a high and it's the only one I want because I don't crash off of it. I don't detox off of it. And doggone it, people still like me. Dang. Who would have thunk that I was a nice guy? I was always the person, even at work. Let's say you were working with somebody. Dion, I need you on the phone. Okay, let me get on. I'm either going to call out your bullshit, or if you're right, I'm going to make it right for you. It's just the way it's how it is. And Chris says, I like the truth. I like the way the truth and life. Yeah. Thank you. Right. And there again, what is even normal for us? Right. Normal for us just means that we're finally sitting here and there's things happening around us and we're just okay. Nothing. We're just okay. Almost like an enigma. Just there. And I'll tell you what's going to happen when you get to that place. You're going to see everything. You're going to be able to see it all, and you're going to say to yourself, "What in the fuck have I been missing most of my life?" But it takes complete surrender. It takes stopping fighting. So work on those paradoxes. Work on the paradoxes. I'm really glad Jill brought that up. I'll be big on those now. Oop. Okay. All right. I'm going to finish this up and then I'll let you guys go. And at this time, oh, yay. We got another person posting porn. Man, that's progress. All right. Hey, Abigail, would you like to say something else besides putting porn on here? Go for it. Because I'm getting ready to block you. So if you can vet yourself right now. So everybody on Facebook, please do me a favor and just say hello real quick up there, please. All right. May God erase in me the arrogant pride which keeps me from listening to him. May my unhealthy dependence on chemicals and my clinging dependence on those nearby be transformed into reliance on God. Only in this kind of dependency, reliance on a higher power, will I find my own transformations. Today I will remember I am God dependent. Right on. So may my unhealthy dependence on chemicals, okay, and clinging to dependence, in other words, people, okay. See, yeah, we got 5 people on there. Okay. Well, Abigail, thanks for joining us. Bye-bye. Oops, something went wrong. Reloading the page. Okay, that's nothing. So yes, our real reliance has to be upon God. It's the only way that we're going to make a change. I was of the hopeless variety, right? Anybody else? Okay, I got Michael, Gary, Chris that have said hello. I know there's more people on there. Say hello, please, Shane. Unless they left. So, all right, guys. I'm pretty excited. I'm actually pretty excited. I'm getting ready to make a phone call over to Aurora Mental Health. and because they're working on a new detox. And I'm gonna get some peer-to-peer recovery in there. I'm gonna fucking pound it into them. I feel like preaching. All right. I do. I feel like preaching, man. So, all right, guys, that's gonna be it. I'll be back tomorrow for daily reflection. I don't want to push it too much today just because I'm feeling better. So, all right, guys, thank you for being here. All the time. If you ever have questions for me, anything else, you guys are always welcome to reach out to me, and I'll reply back. I almost always reply back. As long as you don't say hi, how you doing? You say that, and I'm going to ignore you. I had somebody, they tried that earlier. They're like, oh, what are you, scared? I'm like, oh my God. Anyway, all right. I love you guys. Peace out and have a day. Bye.